Listen closely, because I'm about to show you step by step how to ruin your entire career. Featuring, you guessed it, Patrick Beverley. Okay, dramatic intro aside, Patrick Beverley may just officially have ended his career after the antics he just pulled off in these last couple of weeks, which we'll dive deeper into a little bit later. But while it may be funny to laugh at all of his wrongdoings over the years, it's also sad at the same time, because he worked so damn hard to get to where he is today. So before we can talk about how exactly he ruined his career, we first have to talk about how it began. Born on July 12, 1988 in Chicago, Illinois, Beverley's early life was marked by adversity and challenges that would shape his future path. Growing up on the rough and crime-ridden streets of Chicago's West Side, Beverley faced numerous obstacles from a young age. Raised by his single mother, Lisa Beverly, Patrick was surrounded by poverty, violence, and gang activity. Despite these difficult circumstances, his mother instilled in him the values of hard work, discipline, and the importance of education. Basketball became Beverley's escape from the harsh realities of his environment. From a very young age, he displayed a natural talent for the sport, but his path to success was far from easy. As a teenager, Beverley attended John Marshall Metropolitan High School, where he quickly emerged as a standout player on the basketball team. However, his dreams of playing college basketball were nearly derailed when he encountered legal troubles. During his junior year of high school, Beverley was involved in an altercation with a police officer, resulting in his arrest and expulsion from school. It was a pivotal moment in his life, forcing him to confront the consequences of his actions and make a choice between continuing down a destructive path or turning his life around. Determined to overcome his past mistakes, Beverley enrolled in a new school, Marshall High School, where he focused on his academics and basketball career with renewed determination. Despite facing skepticism and doubts from coaches and recruiters, he poured his heart and soul into the game, using basketball as a means to create a better future for himself and his family. After graduating from high school, Beverley faced another setback when he failed to qualify academically to play Division I college basketball. Undeterred, he enrolled at Arkansas University, where he spent 2 years playing for the Razorbacks basketball team. Beverley's time at Arkansas was marked by challenges as well, but his relentless work ethic and passion for the game never wavered. He was used to it. In 2008, Beverley declared for the NBA draft, fulfilling a lifelong dream despite facing skepticism from scouts and analysts. However, his journey to the NBA was far from straightforward. After going undrafted, Beverley refused to give up on his dream, embarking on a grueling path through international basketball leagues to prove himself. He began his professional career overseas, playing in Ukraine, Greece, and Russia before finally catching the attention of NBA scouts with his tenacity, defensive ability, and relentless energy on the court. In 2013, Beverley signed with the Houston Rockets. In his first season in the NBA, he only averaged 5 points and 3 assists per game in 17 minutes. But he did shoot 37% from three, and on the defensive end, he played with an intensity that was almost rare for someone his size. That led to him getting 31 minutes per game the following season, and he would up his scoring average to 10 points and average 1.4 steals. He wasn't a star by any means, but he was the definition of a winning player. He was going to make the plays that most players, mostly stars, were afraid to make. He was going to dive on the floor. He was going to take a charge from a center who weighed 100 pounds more than him, and without hesitation, he would pick up your favorite player full court on defense like his life depended on it. It is no surprise that a player like this became a fan favorite in Houston. But while his first 2 seasons was a sign of great things to come, I forgot to mention that in a playoff game, he would do something that quickly made basketball fans and players around the world question his intentions. And of course, I'm talking about that incident that started it all, injuring Russell Westbrook. Like I was saying, the roots of the Beverley-Westbrook feud can be traced back to their matchups during the NBA playoffs, where the intensity and stakes are at their highest. One of the most notable incidents between Beverley and Westbrook occurred during the 2013 NBA playoffs when Beverley, then playing for the Houston Rockets, collided with Westbrook, who was playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder at the time. The collision resulted in Westbrook suffering a knee injury that sidelined him from the remainder of the playoffs, sparking outrage and controversy among Thunder fans and players. Many Thunder supporters viewed Beverley's actions as reckless and intentional, believing that he had deliberately targeted Westbrook with the intent to injure him. Westbrook himself expressed frustration and anger at Beverley's style of play, accusing him of being a dirty player and showing little regard for the safety of his opponents. The tensions between Beverly and Westbrook only escalated in subsequent matchups, with both players engaging in verbal sparring and physical altercations on the court. Their confrontations have often spilled into post-game interviews and social media, where they've exchanged barbs and criticisms of each other's playing styles and personalities. Having the title of being a dirty player at the very beginning of your career isn't good. But other than the Russ incident, he never really had another incident where he was accused of trying to injure someone else. Sure, he was and still is known as an irritant, but not a dirty player. Over the years, after that situation, he's gotten into some altercations and heated battles with just about every player in the NBA, from Kevin Durant, James Harden, a rookie Lonzo Ball, and even LeBron James on multiple occasions. But again, that's just who he was. Plus, he was a hell of a defender, and he's always been a respectable shooter and playmaker, which is why he was able to get away with so much. While he wasn't a star, he was still a lockdown defender who could play on and off the ball offensively. There is always room for that type of player in the league. But things started to change, maybe around 2019. His production on both ends had went down. He would average just 7 points per game 3 seasons in a row between 2018 and 2021. He also didn't show any growth as a playmaker at all. His assist numbers would go up and down like a roller coaster ride. And while his three-point shot was efficient, he simply just didn't shoot enough threes to be called a shooter. So offensively, he started to regress, and defensively, he was still a dog. However, he just wasn't the point of attack defender he was in his first 3 or 4 years in the NBA. Now, he was beginning to be more trouble than he was worth. And in the 2021-22 season, he was a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and even gave us the famous playing game meme. However, that following season, he eventually became a Los Angeles Laker after the Wolves traded him to the Jazz, and of course the Lakers got him from there. Here, he would be virtually useless if we're being honest. He shot the worst percentages of his career, 33% from 3, and his points per game had dropped to 6, which was his lowest average since his first year in the NBA back in 2013. And defensively, he just wasn't that guy anymore. Sure, he had his moments, but overall, he couldn't defend in space like he once could, nor was he picking up guys 94 feet. I've never seen him get blown past as many times as he did for the Lakers in that 2022-23 season. So not only was he shooting poor from deep, but the one skill that had gotten him into the league in the first place had regressed significantly. At the start of this season, he was playing for the 76ers, but then at the trade deadline was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks for a Walmart gift card. For the Bucks, he was actually decent in spurts, but overall it was pretty much the same story as when he was with the Lakers. Can't shoot, below average facilitator, and inconsistent on defense, and simply not impactful enough on that end anymore to make up for his lack of offense. But now let's get to the present day, because here is where you're just going to shake your head. In the fourth quarter, with 2 minutes left in a playoff matchup between Milwaukee and the Pacers, he and a fan got into a heated argument where he would throw the ball at the fan, causing the media to go into an uproar. After the situation, he would apologize and say this: "Unfortunate situation that should have never happened. What I did was bad, and that should have never happened. I have to be better, and I will be better. That should have never happened, regardless of what was said. Simple as that." Everyone wondered what was said to even get such a response from Beverly. The reports were the fans made a Cancun joke, which is a joke made by the fans that is used when a team gets kicked out of the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs. Hence, they're about to go on a vacation to Cancun. But I gotta say, when I heard that, I just knew that couldn't be the case. And he would prove my suspicions right by saying the fans said a lot more than a Cancun joke. Let's just say it was more than Cancun on 3. I've been called a lot of stuff in this league. I haven't been called that one. Still, inexcusable. It doesn't matter what was said. So while he didn't say exactly what was said, we can assume it was something insane just based on his reaction and his decision not to repeat to all of us what was said. And while the incident could possibly be justified depending on what the fan said, it still doesn't take away that he threw a ball at a fan after losing a series. That's a bad look, especially when you consider the fact that he only averaged 8 points in the series. I'm not saying that he played bad, because he didn't, but at the end of the day, 8 points is 8 points. And to make matters worse, Giannis was out, so the Bucks needed a lot more than 8 points if you ask me. But it doesn't stop there, because during the post-game interview, he told a reporter to not interview him because he wasn't subscribed to his podcast. Yeah, you heard that right. The reporter, Melinda Adams, did soon tweet that he and the Bucks called and apologized. but still, it happened. Unfortunately, these two incidents may be the nail in the coffin for his career. The Bucks organization as well as Giannis aren't happy with how the season turned out, so you best believe that they're going to make some big changes this offseason. Luckily for them, he will be a free agent this offseason, and something tells me they won't be bringing him back. And outside of that, what other team would even want him? Like I said earlier, he's become more trouble than he's worth. He's been on two of the top teams in the conference in Milwaukee and the 76ers all in the same season, and it didn't work out. And with every contending team becoming more and more stacked by the year, it leaves little to no room for him to find a spot in a rotation on a championship team. Maybe a young rebuilding team like the Pistons, Hornets, or even the Spurs could bring him in as a mentor for their young guys, but other than that, I think this might be the end of Patrick Beverley. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.